And hello and happy Father's Day as we welcome you back inside of Cal Tire Place North here in Vernon. Trevor Miller here with you for one final time here on the weekend of this UMH-68 BC Invitational. Team Blue, Team Gray in the final of this tournament here today from Cal Tire Place North. Happy to be with you here in the North Okanagan as we get set for action on the final day and on the final game of this tournament. And how these teams got here, well, Team Gray undefeated coming into this hockey game. They've won 4 games out of the 4 that they have played, including an 8-5 win yesterday against Team Red to get themselves into this final game here today. For Team Blue, it took a 3-2 shootout victory last night for them to get in. James McRae was outstanding in that game. He was terrific in the game for Team Gray, picking up that win, or for Team Blue, I should say, picking up that win in net over Team Black. So big shootout win yesterday for Team Blue. They got a goal from Bentley Gillis as well in the shootout that stood up as the game winner yesterday. So we look to get going here today on this final. Last time these two teams played each other, interestingly enough, was a game yesterday that saw Team Gray come away with a 10-8 victory in that game that Team Blue led at one point 5-0 and 7-3. So that's the last time these two teams faced off against one another. Be interesting to see how this one comes down and see if Team Blue has learned lessons from the last time they played. The goal to our broadcast left after a terrific performance from James McRae last night for Blue. Buttle gets the start in goal today, while for Team Gray to our broadcast right, Carter Berge will get the start in goal for Team Gray as they look to try and make it a final victory here today. So we get set for our gold medal matchup. Gray to go right to left on your computer screens. Left to right will go Team Blue here in the final game of this weekend. And we're going to have the Sidney Crosby Awards handed out ahead of puck drop here.
But thanks for sticking around. This sport is super important to me because it really exemplifies what everything is about here at the 68. About being a good teammate, about being coachable, about being good in the locker room, and also being able to bring your best game on the ice. So just once again, this award is sponsored by AK and my hockey. It was a great AK prize pack. I didn't get a medal. I apologize. I was having some conversations. I didn't bring them out, but we will represent or select the Sidney Crosby Award winners here. That is selected by the coach. That's the other thing, the coach and the ambassador. So they get to be with these boys for 3.5 days, get to see what they're like in different situations, winning, losing, up and goal, down and goal, when things go right, when things go wrong, and then through the 3.5 days they make their selection. So first we'll go with Team Blue. Team Blue was coached by Dean McCann, and I just got to make sure that I get the number right on the roster here. Team Blue was selected number 9, Ty Warnick.
So the Sidney Crosby Award for each team being presented here before the game. Ty Warnick for Team Blue.
Chris, if you can come over, please, Chris, and get a picture of you, that'd be fantastic. Got my phone here, that'd be great. So Team Blue, so Team Gray, that is Locke Muller's team. Locke Muller's team, just gonna bring this up here again. Locke Muller's team went to number 14, Declan.
Declan McCrimmon, the Team Gray representative. Is it awards that the coaches pick?
Team Red, that was Tyler Shattuck's team. That award goes to number 9, Casey Minabarian.
Casey Minabarian for Team Red.
Is Dean here? Dean McCammon, is he still outside? I think he signed stuff in the back of his truck. We, Team Blacks. This is pretty embarrassing because I don't remember who it told me. We are going to, I can't just guess, I honestly can't remember, there's been so many things going on with stuff, so I apologize to the Team Black. We're, oh, fantastic. It is Max Osgood is the team.
Max Osgood, Team Black, Sidney Crosby Award winner.
So once again, super special award. If I was a mom or a dad, one of these players up here would be super proud. That's a great representation of what's right about hockey. So congratulations, boys. Really appreciate you.
So the Sidney Crosby Award winners presented with their awards before today's game. Take a picture at center. And I'll have the national anthem.
Our Canadian national anthem.
So the anthem's in the books and the awards are given out. Now we'll get ready for the final game of this UMH-68 BC Invitational here, as it's going to be Team Blue versus Team Gray to decide a winner from the weekend. So the final game of the 10-day tournament, the 10-game tournament spanned over 3 days. And a puck drop at center between Theodore Kim and Tristan Schmidt. And we're underway here in the final of this 3-day tournament. This is the puck come back out to center, and Team Gray looking to possess right off the opening hop as they'll get that puck in deep. Here's Raymond Saul, who was taken out of yesterday's game with a 5-minute checking penalty and a game misconduct, so he's back in again. It was more impressive for Blue yesterday. They were able to get their way around the loss of a defenseman with 5D to make their way to this final game. Here's Saul back with it. Sends it ahead on the right side. Carried back in now by Bishop, right circle. Going to throw that toward the front of the goal. Steered away and back ahead and out through center will come Team Gray now as it's worked back up the middle of the ice and taken back in here by Declan McCrimmon. McCrimmon will drop this back off inside of the Team Blue zone now as it's worked back down below the goal line and around the wall on the right wing side. Collected up back to the line, and a long shot put toward the front of the net by Reese Parker, blockered away and steered to the corner off the blocker of Nicholas Buttle. Back down around to the left wing corner. Puck comes back up the wall and pushed back out through to neutral territory where it's Hodgson that will play the pass across and work back out ahead to center here by Team Blue. Carried back ahead by Ben Tyson. Tyson makes a move to get in on the right wing side. Tyson trying to work his way back in now as this puck comes back around the boards on the right wing and back out through to the blue line and now out through to center. Taken over here by Blue as they'll work it off the boards and back down around the right side. Now as Tyson carries back into the net, steered away from the left side there by Berge as this puck will come back inside and now worked free here for Team Gray. Terry Sharman got it across, but worked back inside of the Team Gray zone. Ursula Vanek will play this back down, and it's Von Steinen, to work that back on. And now back onto this is Cuthbertson. His long try from the line, stopped up there by Berge. Rebound below the goal line. Sharman ahead, smacked out through to center there by Team Gray, and they'll work it back now as Cuthbertson will get onto it out through center. Cuthbertson lays this back in. Big collision there as McGee is back forward here in the right wing corner. Tied up there in the corner. Still loose there on the blockers on the glove side before it's worked back behind the net. Vasil Yankovic was tied up there before he could get to that puck, and it's brought back out to center here by Black across right wing side. Offside is Team Gray. Face-off that will come back out to center. 17-17 to go in this opening period. No score so far in this final game between Team Gray and Team Black. Back out through to center now and worked back in by Jake Black on the left wing side. He was knocked off stride. Puck back to the line. Vasil Yankovic tries to work that in deep, but Saul picked it off, and now back the other way comes Gillis on the left side as he throws it toward the front of the net. Swallowed up and held there by Berge, and a face-off will come back inside of Team Gray territory with just over 3 minutes gone here in this opening period. No score so far to speak of in this one. Back along the boards on the right wing side, the puck flipped up and out of play, and face-off that'll come back inside of Team Gray territory with 16:43 to go here in this first period of this final game. So a feeling out process in the early going between these two teams. Draw that'll come to the glove side of the net of Berger. Reminder, if you like what you're seeing and watching today, make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube page here as this puck forced back around to the side of the net, and that was Vasil Yankovic that went into the side of the goal. Lost his glove, is taken off the post as well. Now face-off that'll come back inside of the Team Gray end. The face-off on the blocker side of the goal of Berge as this puck put back around the boards on the left wing, trying to work this one out. Here is Gray, blew back onto it now in a centering pass that came from the right side. This could not be forced toward the front of the goals. That's sent back out through the center by Gray, and they'll make their way ahead now. Fed ahead, here's Tidsbury back in front, and a quick shot fired just wide by Cooper to Wall. Great look by Will Tidsbury back to the front of the net into Wall, just firing that puck wide. Spinning and sending that up the boards. Nathan Johnson out to center. Taken on now by Tidsbury as he makes a move to cut his way in. And tried to advance his way back inside of the offensive zone. This puck worked around to the right side now for Johnson. Johnson on the right wing now as he'll throw it back along. Back to the midpoint. Here's DeWall. Right wing side Johnson. Right circle to the front of the net. That one just worked away for the front of the goals. This puck will come back around to the left point. Here's Wright now with it. Across right wing side. Back down to the left wing. Now McCrimmon shoots, and that one off a body and fired wide. Back behind the goal. Scramble here on the blocker side. Another effort to it now. This one's thrown right into the crease and covered up there by Buttle, and he'll hang on after his teammates were just trying to filter that puck back into the goaltender, and finally Buttle able to cover that one up. Face-off that'll come back to the blocker side off the draw. One forced back along to the right point, long shot toward the front of the net, and that one deflected on. Buttle able to make that save and hang on to it. Back inside of his own zone. Face-off glove side of the net and off the draw. This one pushed ahead and back out through the center here by Team Blue. They'll make their way up ice now with it. Down the right side, here's Tyson, makes a move to try and work his way in, but defended well as that was pushed off by Carter Wright, doing that very effectively down the right wing side. Puck sent back ahead through the center and banked up there. Hayden Carpenter trying to find it in neutral ice now. We'll fling this back in deep here for Team Gray. Blue back onto it down low. 5 minutes gone here in period number 1. This puck laid ahead and pushed back out through the center. Worked back in on the right wing side here by Reed. Reed back in right circle, cuts to the net with a shot, and glove save made and covered up there on the opportunity down the right side by Reed. Nice job swallowing that up by Berge with 14:41 to go here in this opening period. Game remains tied 0-0 so far here in this opening period. Glad to have you here with us for the final game of this 10-game UMH-68 Invitational here from Vernon. Puck back to the line. Saul across left wing. There's Brady Lanoff that tried to put that back in the corner. It went off of the curved glass there in the corner and bounced back out in front. Loose puck will come back along the right side and out through the center now as Team Gray tried to carry that ahead. Lifted back out through to the neutral zone and down inside of Team Gray territory as it's gathered up here by Von den Steinen. I'll work that free now as it's Harry Sharman. Gives it across, and that lead feed, Von den Steinen trying to get this puck free in neutral ice. Here's Saul, turning this back inside of his own zone. Saul works this out through the center. Now will carry his way in across the blue line. Saul, a long shot, that's swallowed up and held by the goaltender there in the way of Berge. And there's 13:50 remaining here in this opening frame. 0-0 remains our score in this one. Face-off to come to the glove side of the gray net. Off the draw. Here's Simpson at the line. He shoots through traffic. Save made and corralled. Covered up there on the long shot from Simpson that Berge's able to keep out once again. So Blue with some good pressure here in the early going of this one. 13:45 to go here in this opening frame. Simpson, right point. Delays and shoots. Fire that one wide. Back along the left wing side. Blue will force it down low and played back behind the goal. Now worked around to the right wing side now as it's taken along here by Gillis. Sent it back to the front of the net. Just out of the reach of Aiden, who gets back to it on the right wing side. Austin Aiden tried to throw it back in front. Back to the line, Simpson. Now for Aiden, turning and firing. And that one steered away. Good stop made there by Berge as it's brought back the other way. Down the right side, big hit there as that was Owen Besser running into his man and Kidsbury along the right wing boards. Brought back the other way and carried out through the center. Aiden at the line will throw it back in. Down below the goal line, that will travel now as it's taken along here by McGee. McGee out from his own zone, sends that pass ahead and knocked down in neutral ice as it's taken here by Harlan Hesby. Hesby now making his way back inside of the offensive zone. Bouncing a puck now as Blue will take back over now. Left wing circle back in front to the net. Great save by Berge. Makes that stop on Schmidt right in front on the blocker side. Back to the line, Cuthbertson holding and shooting. This one filtering through the left side and work back down below the goal line now as it's taken over here by Gray, and they'll force it back ahead and to Wall on the right wing, back out to center for Tidsbury before it was knocked away and back out along the wall on the left wing side and played back inside of Team Blue territory. Off the boards, back ahead to center. Bouncing puck down as it's corralled there, and that was Team Blue that just couldn't get the handle on it. That was Schmidt who couldn't do so. Back ahead through center now as Gray will make their way in. Here's McCrimmon down the right wing, centering a pass right in front off the outside of the goal. Close call there as that puck is worked back ahead, and now on the left wing side, this puck pounded off the glass and all the way down ice. That will travel down inside of Team Gray territory here with 11:48 to go here in the first, and a long stretch pass that's picked off by Team Blue. They'll try to advance their way back in. Sent along left wing now for Reed. Reed on the left wing side, trying to force it back to the middle. Loose puck comes back to the middle of the ice down the right side. Here's Saul, walks in right circle. Wired that shot wide of the goal on the blocker's side. Puck caroms around back to the line and forced back down along to the end to the corner as it's taken over here by Team Gray. Puck sent back around right wing. Here's Reed down with it. Reed tried to get the handle on that. Puck into skates as it's gathered up now by Lenoff, who carries back in. Down the right side. Lenoff right circle. Back behind the goal. Looking for it here in the left wing corner. Brady Lenoff back to the line. Taken on there by Saul. Pushed back across left wing. Bounced down to the left wing circle, but they're going to say offside here against Team Blue with 10:57 remaining here in this opening period. Still scoreless here in the opening frame of this game. Reminder to check out Iron Ghost Construction, a dedicated platinum sponsor of UMH-68, provided player sponsorships at all 4 events, helping young athletes choose their dreams on and off the ice. Iron Ghost, where quality and safety lead every build, and are a proud supporter of youth sports in their hometown of Vernon, BC. Puck forced ahead on the left wing side now as Blue trying to make their way out with it here outside of their own zone. That puck worked back down below the goal line and around the left wing side. And back up the boards and bounced out here to the blue line at the right point. Thrown toward the front of the goal, steered away there back behind the net. That off the stick of the goaltender in the way of Buttle. And now back the other way now will come Team Blue. They advance their way in. Big collision there along the side boards. Down in the corner now is Parker. Parker back on the right wing side, works it back up the wall. Here's Simpson trying to get the handle on it here in the right circle. Simpson down to the right corner now, jousting for it. Here's the puck goes below the goal line. Brought back ahead through center by Gray. Hodgson trying to get to this. Puck forced to head out through center, and now Blue will start back ahead through the neutral zone as it's bumped back ahead out through center. No icing on the play as the back for it here is Gray. Back inside of their own zone now. Gray trying to work out of their own end. Battle for the puck along the wall on the left wing side. Blue will get onto it now. Here's Gillis in the corner. Puck will be worked free and bounce back along down below the goal line now for Gillis. He centers it back out in front through the slot. Cuthbertson takes the shot. Fired it off a stick and wide of the net. Gray lifts that high in the air, up and out of play along the right side. Now with 9:20 remaining here in this opening period, and a faceoff that'll come back inside of Team Gray territory. Faceoff that'll come to the blocker side of the Team Gray net. Off the drop, Blue will possess. Back of the line. Thrown back around to the right wing side now as it's Team Blue back onto it. And that puck comes back up the boards and worked back out through to center. Cuthbertson to the middle. Up with that is Ty Warnock. Warnock will lift this back inside of offensive territory, racing down after it below the goal line. Now puck will come back around the boards on the right wing side and held on there by Cuthbertson. Cuthbertson leaves it on. Now Warnock in the slot with a low shot. Glove side. Swallowed up and held by the goaltender. And Carter Berge will hang on and get a face off. And draw that will come back inside of Team Gray territory. Face off comes to the glove side. Off the draw now, this puck pushed back out through to center and worked back in on the left wing here by Team Gray. Down the left side with a quick shot. Nice stop by Buttle. Able to keep that one out. Carried back ahead. Here's Schmidt to make his way back in. Lost the handle on that. Now it's that puck forced along the left wing and down below the goal line. Back around the boards to the right wing corner and back behind the net now, taken here by Schmidt. Schmidt tied up on the end boards. Gray will come out with the puck and start back the other way. Lead feed out through center. Off the backhand, a big collision there as Saul dumps down Carpenter right in front of the blue bench. Puck chipped ahead out to center. Worked along the left wing side here by Team Blue. Back into the left wing circle now, holding that on the goal line, centering a pass right out in front. Blue just unable to connect on that. Good looking opportunity there as that was Rowan Stacey trying to find the handle in front. Now played around to the left wing half board here and trying to get that back up the middle. Here is Blue. They will as they force it ahead, and here comes Blue the other way. If they hurry, could be an odd man rush, but end of the shift for Schmidt. Just can't find the handle. Parker knocked down as well, and that puck just out of the reach of Harry Sharman at center as he forced it back inside the offensive zone. 7.5 to go here in the first. No score here in this game between Team Blue and Team Gray in this final matchup. Puck sent ahead at center. Here comes Blue the other way, and a break working in. Ben Tyson to the net, and a blocker saved by Carter Berge. What a stop that was by Berge. Now back in front. Tyson just can't handle that one. Just out of the reach on his forehand in the right circle. Brought back along now as it's played back along the left wing side and brought back in there. Gray trying to bring that back in. What a huge save that was by Berge, making that stop on Tyson. Puck sent ahead and out to center now, taken here by Simpson. Fed it ahead on the left wing side, worked back in here as this puck jousted for the blue line and played back in now by Blue. Battle just inside the line. Pushed back across on the right side now as Gray will take over. Von Den Steinen will drop it along for Parker. Parker around the boards left wing now, cut off and pushed back down low. Here's Reed back behind the net. Reed up with it now as he tried to center it back out in front. And it back again in the right wing corner. Berkeley Reed going to leave it back along there on the right side as this puck forced back down to the right wing corner. Now Gillis tried to make a move back out in front, and coming in from the defense was Besser trying to poke that one toward the goal. 6 minutes to go here in the first. Tyson back in front, and a shot by Gillis just went wide. Simpson back down low. On the wall right wing side now is Gray trying to muster their way out with it before it's taken over by Graham Parker with a stretch pass. Can't connect with Harry Sharman on that. So that'll go down for an icing, and a face-off that will come back now inside of Team Gray territory. Face-off will come back inside of Team Gray territory. 5:42 to go in this opening period. Still looking for our first goal score in this game. 0-0 our score here thus far. Up the face-off. This puck is worked back around the boards on the right side. Battle for it here back behind the goal. Gillis now for it. Gillis makes his way around to the left wing half board, left wing circle. Now Gillis tried to put that one on toward the front of the goal. Couldn't get that shot toward the net. Brought back the other way here by Team Gray as they start ahead. That pass intercepted. Now Blue back up with it. Played across on the right wing side now. Carried back in here by Aiden with a high shot. Standing glove save made. And a good stop there by Berge, who's been very good so far here in the early part of this game. And that big save on Ben Tyson moments ago on the breakaway opportunity. Face-off that'll come back to the glove side of the Team Gray net. Off the face-off now, Cuthbertson to the front of the goal. Steered away by Berge. Rebound pops around to the right side and pushed back to the blue line where it's held on by Cuthbertson. Left wing feed to the net, fired just wide. Good looking opportunity there for Team Blue. Cuthbertson back below the goal line now. Blue takes this back over there in the corner and back down below the goal line. Back behind the net now. A down the floor, and here is up with the puck in the left wing corner. Backdoor pass, and that was a good looking attempt toward the front of the goal there as that was Aiden that tried to spot his man back door. Now Cuthbertson once more with it down the right wing side. Drops it back down behind the goal. Thrown back down below the goal line now as a scrum for it here, back off the glove side of Berge. Continues to be a puck battle for it as that puck's worked back out to the middle and taken the other way here by Team Gray. Right ahead on the right wing side. Tidsbury now working to the bottom of the right circle and floated that one just wide. Puck comes around the boards on the right wing, back out through to center. Here's Schmidt now with it. Schmidt trying to get a handle on that. Puck comes loose back down below the goal line now. Schmidt knocked to his knees. That's forced around by Rasul Yankovic. And now back down below the goal line here is Team Gray trying to get this puck out. Loose to the side of the goal. And now back down below the goal line. Blue still with it. Back to the midpoint. Here's Saul. Makes a move to get around a checker. Saul walks in, left circle to the net. Off a body and off of Berge wide of the goal. Now the puck centered back in front once more. Berge another save. Rebound back out in front. Cleared by Gray as they'll make their way back out of their defensive end. Blue with all the chances so far. They haven't been able to convert. 3.5 to go in the first in a game that's still 0-0, but some terrific looks so far for Team Blue. Saul ahead, work back in on the right wing side here by Team Blue as they try to advance their way ahead, and up the right wing side, here comes Gray. Working down the right wing, here's Theodore Kim down to the right wing corner. He's wedged out the puck. Comes loose back down below the goal line and around the wall on the right wing side. Bounce back out to center is forced back out through neutral ice as McCrimmon will try and bring this back in. Knocked to his knee there by Saul, who gets back onto the puck below the goal line. Taken along here by Lanoff. He can't quite work that out. Flipped up the boards. Wright trying to hold it onside. Bouncing puck comes back to the line and forced back along there as McCrimmon brings that back offside here for Gray with 2:47 to go here in this opening period. The faceoff though will come back inside of neutral territory. Faceoff to come back out to neutral ice. Off the scramble, this one works back along for Simpson. Left wing feed now as it's Blue that will bring this back ahead through center. A long shot up and over the goal. Puck bounced wide to the left wing cornerback behind the net. Comes loose back to the right wing corner now as it's brought along here by Tidsbury and worked back out through to center. Bouncing puck comes to the middle. Blue back there for it. Back for it now below the goal line here is Besser. Besser behind the net. Now we'll wrap it back ahead on the right wing side as Tyson will bring this back ahead as it's knocked down there by Parker. Loose puck comes along to the left wing circle now as it's poked up there by Reed, and Tyson a shot. That was knocked down. Rebound chance in front of the goal and cleared off the boards back out through to center and carried ahead through the neutral zone here by Team Gray. Back in across the line, a shot attempt to the goal by Sharman. Fanned on that opportunity, and Von den Steinen will work it across to the right wing here as it's sent back in by Diceroth. Blue back with it behind the net. They'll work their way out from inside of their own zone. Sent to head out through center. Cut to the middle of the ice, and it's Blue that will work that back ahead through neutral territory. Floated back inside of Team Blue territory now as it's forced ahead and out to center off the backhand of Von Steinen and worked back in here by Gray. Here's Parker now for it. Ahead on the right side, banked up ahead now for McCrimmon. McCrimmon on the right wing carries back and across the goal line. His long shot swallowed up and held by Buttle. He'll hang on with 1:21 to go here in this opening period in a 0-0 game here between Team Blue and Team Gray. Puck back to the blue line now where it's held on by Gray. Forced to the right wing circle. Trying to get that puck back in front was Hayden Carpenter. Puck laid around it. Back out in front. That one just went wide of the goal. Drop back along the right wing side here as this puck is forced around the wall into the right wing corner. Back up top right point for Parker. Parker thrown to the front of the net. That went just wide. Last minute of play here in period one. Von Steinen with a shot. That was knocked down. Loose puck swept wide of the goal from the side of the net. Gray with a good look there that just couldn't convert. Back ahead and up the boards left wing there as it's pushed toward the front of the net, and that one knocked free. Played up the boards now, and it's pushed past the blue line and all the way out to center. Back for it now is Parker inside of his own end. Puck sent ahead and banked off a body now as this is loose back inside the line. Carpenter trying to find the handle. Taken on by Von den Steinen now with 19 seconds to go here in the period. Worked ahead by Bishop. Carries it right circle. Takes the shot. Fired it wide of the blocker side. Comes all the way back around out through to center. 10 seconds to go here in the opening period. Carried ahead by Blue out to center. as it was Hesby that tried to make his way back in. And face-off that will come back into neutral territory here with 4.2 seconds to go in the first, and 0-0 our score here in this game. Cooper to wall against Schmidt on the face-off, pop back up to center. That'll sound the buzzer on the opening frame here in Vernon. Well, for the first time all weekend, we have no goals scored in the opening period of play. And a 0-0 game after 20 minutes here from Cal Tire Place North. No goals scored between either side in a defensive battle in the opening period here of this UMH-68 final here between Team Gray and Team Blue. So 0-0 our score after the opening 20. Period that saw a shot total of a 15-7 in favor of Team Blue. Blue had the large possession game in that opening period, but both goaltenders were great. Carter Berge outstanding for Team Gray. He made 15 saves on 15 stops as Berge kept his team in it. 7 saves on 7 shots for Nicholas Buttle in that opening period. No goals, no penalties to speak of. Nothing going on after the opening 20 minutes here from Cal Tire Place North. 0-0 our score after 20. Take a look at who weekend long. We'll hear from the game's Grit and Grind Award winner after. Brought to you by Brown's Social House, 3-star awards by Nick Roughton with Coldwell Banker Executives Realty. Player nutrition provided by Nature's Fair Markets. BioSteel, the platinum sponsor and main sponsor of this tournament. Iron Ghost Construction, Elite Prospects, Up My Hockey, the Up My Hockey podcast, and A. Kane Hockey. After 20, we're still searching for our first goal scorer. We'll see what we can find in period 2 coming up after this here at the UMH-68 BC. Back here inside of Cal Tire Place North, joined by a very special guest, the owner of Iron Ghost Construction, Trevor McKechnie. Trevor, first off, thanks for joining us, especially when it's Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals, so you can do a lot better things.
Yeah, well, when your team's not in it, you're just rooting for your country at this point.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Iron Ghost Construction is such a big part of this tournament. First off, I'm interested to know, what made you want to get a part of something like this and be a part of this? Obviously, Jason Biddle's someone who I'm sure you have a very good relationship with, but what kind of made you want to get involved with that?
Yeah, well, we like to help out in minor sports within the entire region of the Okanagan. So we're involved with minor hockey, minor football, big supporters of lacrosse, baseball, and it's something we like to put our donations towards, I guess. And then Jason does such a great job with everything, and he puts his name on. That's one of our mottos of our company, is quality with a reputation. So, linking up with Jason and something that he's putting on and doing a very good job at running, we thought that, what a better partnership than to help him out with some scholarships, that he could bring in some good talent and showcase that here on home ice. So.
You talk about minor sports, and I see your son here as well. Did that kind of play a factor into it too when you're a dad and you kind of go through and knowing about your son going up and wanting to look and play different sports? Does that kind of play a factor into it for you too?
Yeah, it definitely does, right? We like to live vicariously through them, I guess. When we were younger and going through those ages, and didn't always have the same things they're getting now at the younger ages, almost getting treated like pros at a very young age. It's cool to see. So, obviously when you have kids and they're getting treated properly in minor sports, and takes up a lot of their time, as we all know, keeps them busy and occupied. I would do it all over again in a heartbeat.
You talk about the community, and the community of Vernon obviously is a great spot in the Okanagan. The Okanagan's a great spot in general to be a part of, so it makes it easy to come out and do this kind of thing. And for yourself, in these businesses, the local businesses, it must feel pretty good to be out in the community and obviously have your face out there as well, especially when it comes to something like this.
Yeah, you bet. It's nice. We haven't done a lot of work locally in a long time. We're very industrial, so we do a lot of oil and gas. We do agricultural with canola plants out in Saskatchewan and Alberta. Eastern Alberta, and we also do, we're into forestry too. So, you know, a lot of our local work will be involved with the forestry, with the sawmill industry and things like that. But yeah, it's nice to put your name into something local and watch it grow.
And just adding on to that, I'm sure you know you get a chance to watch some of this hockey now. What do you think about some of these young kids out here?
It's wild.
You talk about your son, and obviously these guys that are treated like pros, they're playing like pros sometimes out there.
It's fascinating to watch how advanced they get from one year to the next. You know, like I remember watching 4 or 5 years ago when my nephew came through the ranks, and you know what kids can do now at that age today. They're developing, you know, and advancing so fast. It's cool to watch for sure.
So lastly now, you know, you're looking at this game, it's a 5-4 game, a lot of goals, and it's an exciting one to be a part of, but you know, for Iron Ghost, is this something that you could see even growing more in the future as well? Not just this tournament, but obviously your relationship with the tournament as well. It seems like it's going hand in hand quite well. Construction and hockey's always gone hand in hand, I think.
Yeah, and you know, it's just something that I didn't really see myself doing as a young kid, but it's just the way that the tables went, and I just, you know, had a really strong work ethic from a young age, and went into sports therapy and then paramedicine after that, and then, you know, family started, and you know, got a good opportunity, and then just kind of ran with it. And you know, we were very fortunate. We got a couple good breaks, capitalized on some good opportunities, and here we are. So if we grow, then the community will benefit from it around us.
Well, we appreciate your support as always. Thank you so much.
Bet.
It's been a big part of it, I know, over the course of the years, especially here this year as well. So excited to have you on, and excited to have you here as well. Thanks for coming on and doing this.
Thanks for having me.
Perfect.
Right on.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you
Appreciate
bet.
your
Thanks
time.
for having me. Yeah,
Awesome.
I think I got some of your merch here.
Yeah, you don't want to Back inside of Cal Tire Place North here in Vernon. Trevor Miller here with you. Period 2 upcoming here from the North Okanagan, as it is Team Blue and Team Gray still searching for our first goal scorer of this final matchup here at the UMH-68 Invitational here in Vernon. We had set for period number 2, and we're underway here in the second frame. Both teams looking to try and find the first goal of this game. First time all tournament that we have not had a goal scored after one period of play. So the defensive play coming in spades, and some good goaltending as well from each of these netminders. A long shot from Gray right off the hop. Nicholas Buttle, Team Blue's netminder, had to make a quick right pad save. Gray going left to right on your computer screens. Right to left will go Blue here in this long chain second period. Puck thrown toward the front of the goal by Ben Tyson. Stopped and held by Carter Berge. Great save by Berge in the first period on Tyson. He walked in on a breakaway. Berge be able to make a right pad save on him. So it's been a good game here for Carter Berge so far. 29 seconds into this middle frame. Face off down to the glove side of the goal of Berge. Off the draw, now forced ahead here by Team Gray to get out through to center, and bouncing puck will work back away out to neutral ice before that puck is deadened, and a face-off will come back into neutral territory. 19:20 to go here in the second period. So again, the only time that we've seen in this tournament so far where nobody has scored in the opening period of play. We'll see what the second period has in store for us from these two sides. Again, Gray, pretty impressive not to have them score any goals, as they came into this with a ton of goals scored throughout the course of this tournament. Long shot for the right wing side floor, as that was fired up and out of play, and a face-off will come back once again inside of Team Gray territory. Looking at the goals scored for Team Gray so far, and it's been pretty impressive for them so far in this tournament. Shot from the line, that one stopped. 34 goals scored for Team Gray throughout the course of this tournament in 4 games. And we have our first penalty of this final matchup. It's a holding call, and it's going to be a power play upcoming here for Team Blue, as they'll go to the game's first power play. And off for Team Gray is Hudson Diceroff, who's going to go off for the hold. Power play opportunity upcoming here for Team Blue. So Team Blue, their first power play of the game. And off the face-off now, Gray trying to work this puck toward the front of the goal. Back along right wing side now is Cuthbertson, down below the goal line now. Back behind the net is Blue, a centering feed, comes for Warnick with a shot, and Ty Warnick's opportunity just went up and over the goal. Comes back around the right wing side, now thrown towards the side of the net. Here's Hesby back in front, off the left pad of the goaltender and wide. Puck carries back out through to center and all the way down inside of Team Blue territory. So Blue back onto it inside of their own zone. Stretching pass ahead. Here's Schmidt back with it now. Schmidt will carry on out through center. Trying to work that puck up the boards on the right wing side as Gray lost the handle on that. Now Blue will carry back ahead and get out through the neutral zone. Work back in on the left wing side. Is going to make their play on that. There's Blue down in the left wing corner. We got another penalty coming up here. So with 18:07 to go here in the second, going to be another penalty coming up to Gray. A slashing call against Cooper DeWall. And now Blue will head to a 5-on-3 power play here for the next minute and 9 seconds. Great opportunity here for Team Blue to try and get on the score sheet. Face off to come to the blocker side of the goal of the Team Gray net. And now the chance here is it's Tristan Schmidt across right side. Here's Saul right circle, back along Schmidt left wing to the net. Puck just flopped up and over the goal. Back on the right wing side, now to the line it goes for Saul. Saul trying to get the handle on it. Back around below the goal line, and a backdoor pass that just went through the crease. 40 seconds remains in this 5-on-4 or 5-on-3 power play. Went off. Back across right side. Taken here by Schmidt. Back to the right circle. Here's Saul. Back up top. Schmidt in the slot with a shot. That was blocked, and Gray will clear it down ice. Reeling off out of his own zone now. Slowly making his way out of his own end to work ahead. Sends it ahead on the left wing side, and now push back to the middle here. Now it's Saul who will make his way back in. Saul across right wing side. Taken by Blue now as they'll hold on to it here. Midpoint Schmidt, right wing circle to the net. That shot just went wide. 4 seconds to go in this power play, and the puck popped up and out of play. 3 minutes gone here in the second period. Face-off that'll come back inside of Team Gray territory. 5-on-3 remains for 2 more seconds until Dice-Roth gets ready to come out of the penalty box. And he's now out of the box, so 5-on-4 and a quick shot right from a sharp angle there by Blue. That one knocked away by the goaltender in the way of Berge, and that's back down inside the offensive zone. Dice-Roth hit hard on the end boards. Gonna come on to that there. And working this back out of their own zone here is Team Blue. Turn back here is now with that is Reed. Reed got that ahead on the left wing side, and Besser now will make his way ahead. Besser to center. Across through the middle of the ice. That was broken up and fired all the way down ice there by Team Blue. Blue back onto it now. Turning back there is Simpson. Simpson off the imports here for Besser. Besser back around for Simpson. Simpson on the right wing side. Floats it ahead, and now work back out here by Blue. They'll carry in down the middle of the ice now. Making a move to the backhand. Trying to get toward the front of the net there was Ticey. Back around on the left swing side. So back to 5-on-5 as Team Gray kills off that penalty. And now back to even strength. Cuthbertson back forward inside of his own zone. No icing called for on the play. Cuthbertson dropped it back off behind the net now for Besser. Turned over and a chance down to the right point. On to that now is Rasul Yankovic. Drops it back below the goal line. Centering feed in front. Fired just wide. A great chance right in front for Team Gray to bury, but it's McCrimmon that couldn't find the net. Now back the other way. Here's Tyson, a long shot. Locker's shoulder save made. Rasul Yankovic will wrap it around the boards now for Carpenter. Starts his way out of his own end, out through center. Gets to the red line and dumps this puck in deep for Gray. Back behind the net now is Besser. Besser behind the goal. Before it's forced around on the left wing side as Blue trying to work their way back out to center. Gray back onto it now as they'll lay it back inside of Blue territory, right back toward the front of the goal. And there to hang on with that is Buttle as he'll get a face-off back inside of the Team Blue zone. So face-off that'll come to the glove side of the goal of Buttle. Off the draw now, this puck pushed back behind the goal, and Hesby will now make his way back up with this on the right wing side with just over 5 minutes gone here in this second period. Loose puck left circle now played ahead, and this one worked back down inside of Team Blue territory. That will go, no icing on the play as Hesby back forward inside of his own zone. Got it along the right side and now pushed back out to center. Here's Warnick making his way ahead. Warnick down the right wing, takes the shot off the blocker of the goaltender Berge as it's pushed back down below the goal line. Wrapped around to the right wing corner now. Aiden trying to catch the handle on this in the right half board. Drops it back down low. Nathan Johnson ahead. Here's Sharman back to middle for Johnson. Had that stripped away. Sharman couldn't quite get the handle there as well. Blue bump back to the line. Here's Cuthbertson walking in and shooting from the high slot. That was knocked down. Taken away by Gray. Fed ahead out through center. Now Dice-Roth trying to work his way back in. Cuthbertson run into. We got a penalty coming up here. They're going to call Cuthbertson for an interference penalty, and Team Gray will go to their first power play of this game with 13:58 to go here in the second period. Got to come to the blocker side of the blue net. Over 6 minutes gone here in this second period. And off the face-off now is Jake Black, who tried to work that toward the front of the goal. Back down right wing side, it's DeWall. Back to the line for Parker. Across left wing now to the front of the net. That went off a stick and over the goal. Back around to the right point. That puck worked all the way back out to center. Parker now trying to track it down here below the goal line as he'll gather the handle. And now forced back out through to center. Taken on here by Team Gray. Turned back and sent back down ice there by Blue. 1:25 remains of power play time. 13:20 remains second period. Still searching for our first goal scorer of today's game. Sent ahead, here's DeWall. We'll find the handle at center. Regrouped by Black as he'll make his way back in. Black dropping it off on the left wing side. Now cutting to the middle, making a move to the front of the net. Black scores! And Team Gray on the power play just under 7 minutes into the second period has taken the 1-0 lead. Jake Black on the power play goal makes it a 1-0 score. So a big goal for Jake Black there at the front of the net. Able to bury it past the glove side of the goal of Nicholas Bunnell. And the power play goal for Team Gray has pushed them ahead by a 1-0 score here in this final. That one forced back out through to center and now pushed back out here by Gray as they'll make their way out of their own zone. Next sent ahead now for McCrimmon. Works it back out in front, and that shot toward the net that Buttle's able to hang on to and cover up. Face-off that will come back inside of Team Blue territory. Back around to the corner, and Gray back onto it, back behind the net. Worked around to the right wing side. And loose there as that puck comes back to the line, and a shot by McGee through traffic that just went off a body and wide. Played back around to the right side. Forced back along here as it's pushed back around to the corner boards and up the wall on the left wing now for McCrimmon. McCrimmon tried to work that one out. Puck sent back to the line and forced back around to the corner. Back behind the goal now, up with that is Team Gray. Here's Kim now back with it. Kim behind the net. Get a handle on that now as this puck forced back in front, and that shot just ripped over the goal. Back at the right point now, McGee trying to hold that on. Played back along left wing side and pushed back out ahead through to center. Here comes Tyson back with it. Tyson high slot, ranges in right circle, and a right shoulder save by Carter Berge. Kept that one out with 11:41 to go here in the second, and a 1-0 game in favor of Team Gray. Face-off blocker side and draw one here by Gray as they'll try to work this out of their own zone. Sent back across the blue line now and worked back in on the right wing side. Hodgson, a nice move to cut in, and a shot that went just up and over the goal. Great stuff there from Hodgson going toward the front of the net. Puck filtered back down below the goal line and around the wall on the left wing side. Gray will keep onto it now as this puck is sent back down below the goal line. Team Blue there for it. As Hesby back along the right side. Out to center will come Aiden. Lead feed just out of the reach of Warnick. Gray trying to work that puck out. Warnick back with it again. Sends it across right side and just couldn't work that one free as this puck comes back along the right wing corner. Gray back behind the net now for it. They'll make their way out from their own zone. Skating out at center. Here's Nathan Johnson to advance in. Johnson down the right wing side. Johnson carrying into the right wing corner. Down below the goal line now, a centering pass comes right out in front. Blue trying to come back the other way and counter, but nice job there as that was Gray that was able to work that puck free. Thrown down inside of Team Blue territory. No icing on the play as this puck comes loose to the side of the net and pushed back along here by Blue as they'll make their way out to center. Banked out ahead through the neutral zone. Blue sends this puck in deep now with 10:10 remaining here in the second period. Parker back behind the net. Stretch pass that just can't hit the wall. He'll negate the icing here though as he gets to it below the goal line. Centered it back out in front, went off a stick of Saul. Now thrown to the middle of the ice. That was broken up neatly there as it was poked away by Stacey. Here's Schmidt ahead, right wing side, walking back in a shot. That was stopped by the right pad of Berge. Kicked that one out on that try that came from the right wing there off the stick of Bishop. Back behind the goal now, working along with it here is Saul. Saul left that along. Skated onto there by Bishop. Back to the line and out to center as Stacey will take over here in neutral territory. Gonna free that back inside of the offensive zone. Under 10 to go here in the second. 9:20 to be exact as it's brought back ahead. And nice move by DeWall. He cuts in with a shot. Right pad save. Rebound loose in front as Buttle made that terrific stop. And here comes Blue the other way. Out at center is Bishop down the right wing side. Bishop toward the front of the net. That was knocked down. Loose puck comes back behind the goal and from his rear end playing that ahead there was Parker as he got it back out through to center. Here's Reed back up with it now. Reed trying to make a play up with it. Wedged off the puck now as Kim races to it. Kim left wing circle. Stops up there on the half board. Kim drops it down low. Back down behind the net. Big hit there as that was Lanoff that hammered his man down below the goal line. Puck sent back ahead at center and worked back in here by Rasul Yankovic. Down below the goal line is Kim. Kim left wing circle, fit it back out in front. Now McCrimmon makes a move back behind the net. McCrimmon's still with it. Rasul Yankovic now at the line will force it across left wing side. And shot went up and over the goal off the stick of McGee. Back around right wing. Here's McCrimmon. Gonna get the handle on it here. Now held on by McCrimmon inside the blue line. Into the right wing corner, McCrimmon centering a pass loose in front and just couldn't be poked toward the goal. Up the boards, Blue will send that back out through to center. Rasul Yankovic first one back forward inside of the defensive end and bounced away inside the line. Held on here by Besser. Besser carries in right circle. Shot up and over the cage. Played back around to the left wing circle and back up top it goes. Forced along left wing side here is Gray. Will eventually get that back out and down inside of Blue territory. That will go for an icing. And the face-off that will come back inside of Team Gray territory with 7:37 to go here in the second period. And a goaltending change for either side. Ethan Pinch will come on here for Team Gray. Well, it'll be James McRae who will come on for Team Blue. Pinch was great yesterday in his team's semi-final victory, so he gets the second half of the game today. And James McRae was fantastic last night for Team Blue in his second half performance, and a terrific job in that game against Team Black. So McRae gets the second half of this one. Both goaltenders leaving this game in a very good position. Here's Cuthbertson with a shot deflected, and that one forced just away from the front of the net. Shot from the line by Hesby, fired just wide. Played back along the left wing side and now out through center. Here comes Gray back in, right wing side. Diceroth to the net, steered away by the right pad of McRae. Rebound forced ahead on the right side and now skated out through to center and back in on the right wing. Here comes Stacey. Stacey down below the goal line. Stacey still trying to get the handle on it here as it's back into the corner and played out ahead through the center here by Gray. They'll make their way out through center. Back along the right side. Diceroth now with it. It's like a heavy hit there as that puck comes back up the boards and played back out through the neutral territory as Johnson couldn't get the handle. Played back in by Hesby. Works back inside the offensive zone. Hesby right wing circle back in front to the net, and that filtered on. Pinch there to make the save. There's 6:31 to go here in period number 2. Ethan Pinch a strong stop. And a face-off that'll come back inside of Team Gray territory. Puck worked around below the goal line and back behind the net. Now trying to center that back out in front was Team Blue. Blue back with it again as it comes back to the line. Held on here by Saul. Saul making moves. The cut to the right side, now into the right wing circle. Trying to control that. Pushing it toward the middle there was Bishop before it's pushed back down below the goal line. Steinen up the wall right side. That's poked ahead. Penalty coming. Oh, no penalty coming. Thought maybe we'd see an arm in the air on that attempt, but back down below the goal line here is Lenoff. Back down low now is Saul, who will take over. Saul on the left wing side trying to push that ahead. Puck out to center. Work back ahead now on the left wing side here for Schmidt. Schmidt trying to work his way in. Puck centered right back along left wing side, and that one forced just wide of the goal. Now back the other way. Here comes Gray, trying to work their way back in here to extend their lead down below the goal line. Puck intercepted there as Tidsbury couldn't get the handle. Now it's Lenoff who will take over. Lenoff turned it over, and a chance the other way for Black, who's the only goal scorer so far here this afternoon. Lenoff bounced that out to center. Reed will take over with 5:15 to go here in the second. Reed down the right wing side, stops up and tried to center. Tidsbury can't get the handle. Loose puck just inside the line. Gathered by Tyson, right wing circle. Reed a shot, a sharp angled try that fired wide. Thrown for the line, and it's Besser's attempt toward goal that was knocked down. Now taken here by Reed. Pushed toward the net. Bounced toward the goal, now taken the other way here by Team Gray. They'll start the other way. Sent in deep there by Tidsbury. Worked back in now by Simpson. Simpson back behind the net up the right wing side and sent back out through to center for Reed. Reed off the backhand of his stick as let's work back inside the line. Push back inside of Team Gray territory as they're back onto it. McGee a long stretch pass to center, just over the stick of McCrimmon. Want to race back after it here down below the goal line. Back behind the net now. This puck rattled around on the right side, back out to the blue line, and now Team Blue will force that back out to center. Work back ahead now, Reed on the left wing. Reed down the left wing side in the circle, tried to throw it back in front. McGee intercepted that. Rattled around the boards now as Carpenter will get this puck back ahead to center. Here's Besser now with it. 4 minutes to go, period 2. Trying to push that to the middle before it was forced away. Team Gray trying to get the handle on it now as they'll lay it back inside of Team Blue territory. Puck sent around and pushed up the wall by Blue. Bouncing puck now as that puck is worked back inside of the neutral zone and played back inside of Team Blue territory now as they'll take over. Forced back in on the right wing side here by Blue as that puck sent back in deep. Down to the corner now as they'll take over here with 3.5 to go in the second. Forced along by Aiden. Right wing side to the net. Steered away by the right pad of Pinch. Rebound right circle. Aiden to the net once more. And a puck that's lifted up and over the goal. To the right side. That's sent back out to center. Up with that now and forcing that one ahead there is Hesby. Lifted high in the air back out to neutral ice. Big hit there is Hesby planting down Theodore Kim in neutral territory. Taken over here by Team Gray as they'll work their way out with it now as that was a big collision. Puck is worked free to the corner. Back behind the net, given up and a centering feed right in front. That puck came back to the right wing side. Cuthbertson will gather. Cuthbertson across left wing. Hesby to the front of the net, knocked down before it could get to the goal. Loose puck in the slot, a shot stopped by Pinch. Gray will clear to get back out through to center. Back for now is Hesby back inside of his own zone. Hesby a stretch pass to center. Here's Bishop back in, working down the right side with a shot. Pinch the save and we'll swallow it up with 2:27 to go here in period number 2. And a 1-0 game remains here for Team Gray. Well, it's been a tightly contested final here between these two teams at the UMH-68 Invitational. We'll have Jason Podolin on in our second intermission. He's the founder of the tournament and get his thoughts on this game, a tightly contested one. Hear about his thoughts throughout the weekend. And of course, UMH hitting the road next week, going to Saskatchewan for a championship there, for a tournament there as well. They've been to Manitoba, so a tournament that's on the move. Used to just be BC, now ranging all over Western Canada. On ahead through center here by Team Gray, Stacy back with it on the left wing side. Now we'll work this puck ahead. Down the left wing, a drop pass here. Stacy on the left wing side off the outside of the net. Back behind the goal, now back up the right side, and Saul has to take this back out at center with 1:50 to go here in the second period. Saul stopping up inside the blue line. Throws it across right side now for Lenoff. Lenoff working his way back in. Jammed up there on the left wing side and thrown to the right wing circle. Now cutting in with a shot, kicked out, rebound just fired wide. Pinched the first, save the rebound, just fired wide of the goal. Back out through to center. Here comes Johnson across the line with under 1.5 minutes to go here in the period. Johnson floats it toward the net, off a stick and into the glove of James McRae. Will hang on with 1:17 to go here in the second, and the game remains 1-0. Face-off blocker side of the goal of James McRae. Off the face-off now, this forced back down below the goal line, back behind the net. Played back up the boards and a long shot from the line, redirected just wide of the net as that came off the stick of McCrimmon. 1 minute to go here in period number 2. Back to the line, Parker couldn't handle that. Here comes Tyson in alone, looking to tie the game. Ben Tyson to the backhand, misfired. Second breakaway opportunity for Ben Tyson. They can't convert. Here comes Gray the other way. Here's Kim, right circle, nice defensive play. William Simpson got in the way of that to knock that free. Puck still in the zone, and a shot from the left circle, fired wide of the net by Gray, as that was McCrimmon that got that one fired wide. 30 seconds to go now in the frame. Blue will send that ahead, out to center. Working in now is Tyson after missing that chance narrowly on his breakaway opportunity. Tyson knocked down in the corner. Puck still loose there as it's back to the line. Besser holding and shooting. That was blocked. 10 seconds to go in the period. Racing back after it is Cuthbertson. Still loose there and back inside of the blue zone. Cuthbertson back for it. Dying seconds winding down. Besser to it now, and that'll sound the buzzer on 2 periods here from Vernon. A well-played hockey game between these two teams so far here this afternoon. 1-0 our score after 40. Team Gray with the lead after 40 minutes here from this UMH-68 BC Invitational. And when we come to our scoring, pretty simple, just 1 goal scorer to speak of in this game. 40 minutes here from this UMH-68 BC Invitational. And when we come to our scoring, pretty simple, just 1 goal scorer to speak of in this game. Team Gray with the narrow edge here from this UMH-68 BC Invitational. And when we come to our scoring, pretty simple, just 1 goal scorer to speak of in this game. Team Gray with the narrow edge here. Started this game, Nicholas Buttle, who started as well. Berge goes up perfect in his appearance. Buttle allows just the 1 goal, and now James McRae and Ethan Pinch in net. They've both been terrific here as well. 1-0 our score after 40 minutes. Take a look at who got us here and our partners here for the tournament. We'll have our Games Grit and Grind Award coming up after this by Brown Social House. Nick Rowan with the 3-star awards with Caldwell Banker Executives Realty. Nature's Fair Markets has the Player Nutrition. BioSteel keeping everybody hydrated, a main sponsor. Iron Ghost Construction, Elite Prospects, Up My Hockey, the Up My Hockey podcast, and A. Kane Hockey, your sponsors for the event. 1-0. Team Gray after 20 minutes of play. We'll come back after this and get you set for period number 3 here from the UMH-68 Invitational here in Vernon and Cal Tire Place North. 1-0 our score after 40 minutes. Welcome back after 40 minutes here from the UMH-68 Invitational. 1-0 our score after 40 minutes here in the final. I'm pleased to be joined with the mastermind behind it all, Jason Podolin. Jason, we were just talking about it a bit off air. These games have been so great. The last time these two teams played each other was 10-8. And now it's a 1-0 game going into the final period. Seems like the intensity's ramped up, and it seems like as this weekend's gone along, the games have gotten tighter. And you know what? Even though it's a weekend in June, it means something to these kids to be out here.
Well, I think so. They're hockey players, they're high-level hockey players, and if they are here, they care about winning and losing. They're competitive kids, and anytime it could be 50 cents on the line, it could be a trophy, it could be nothing on the line, and I think that they want to play, and I think that's probably indicative of the way this game's gone. It's not run and gun. I think they understand it. They're playing for something, and it's looking more like a hockey game every minute.
If this game ends 10-8, I won't have a voice after it's all said and done if we're going to have that going into the third. But we're on the third day of this tournament. It's the second weekend for yourself with the BC tournament. There's a tournament in Manitoba earlier. You're going to Saskatchewan next week. I know when we talked last year, it was about kind of building this tournament up, and how happy are you to see where this has gone to now, and the fact that you're able to host these kind of 4 weekends, and I'm sure more in the works as well. It just seems like things are building and progressing as years go along.
Yeah, well, I think the response is really the thing that is driving it, to be quite honest. I don't know if you remember the origin story, but pretty much stumbled on the first event. Stumbled into it, didn't know what I was doing or why I wanted to get involved in it. I just knew that I wanted the players to have a really good experience. That was the impetus of the whole thing. Is that high-level hockey players, one, need to have a guide about how to become a hockey player, and they also should have a taste of what that's like when they do become high-level hockey players. And hopefully it's inspiring, and hopefully it grows passion. So, the first one happened 3 years ago, and the response from that told me, okay, we got to do it again. And then the response from every subsequent event is, it's high fives, it's handshakes, it's thank yous, it's this, that, and this is exactly what the game needs. So, that's inspiring, to keep going. It's definitely a heck of a lot of work, and Sarah and I are ready for about a week's worth of sleep, but it's been fun. The smiles on the players tell the story. As hockey parents and as parents that are involved in high level anything, when something is going well and when something is done right. When they take the time out of their day to stop me in a hallway or on a staircase and say, we really appreciate the invite. Thanks for putting this on. It's the best event we've been to. It's this. It's been that. The sort of the proof is in the pudding. So if this needs to grow, I think it does. We want to bring in a female event, which we're really excited about. I think the female game has taken off, and there's not really even close to as many opportunities for them as the boys yet at this stage. So we want to provide something for the female athletes next year. We want to grow to 4 provinces. We want to have 2 male events in each province. Ideally, we're going to go to 12, maybe a Pacific Northwest with my new group in Coeur d'Alene we've been talking about as well. So yeah, it's exciting. It's becoming a thing. It really is. It's becoming a thing, and we're proud of it.
It's going to become a full-time job for you pretty soon by the sounds of it. Yeah, that's exciting. You mentioned the female game, and obviously that's something that's growing and growing. You look at the PWHL, and then obviously that just has the trickle effects down to what the minor hockey system is like as well. But you go through this weekend, and you're able to get some more people involved as well, and guys that you've had for a while. Tyler Shattuck, Locke Muller, you've had around for a while, but Chris Osgood into the fold this year, bringing him on and involved. And it must be exciting for you now to have a chance to reconnect with some guys that you haven't talked to in a while as well. I know you've got a lot of contacts throughout the area, and then obviously throughout getting players involved in this, but also the outreach from some of those guys that you might have played with before, or guys that you remember being around during your playing days, reaching out and asking about this as well.
Yeah, that's kind of the back end of it is like a lot of fun. Like the conversations that we get to have, the reconnections, the strategy about the games, the chopping it up about the All-Stars and the awards, and it's super fun, right? That's it brings us back into the dressing room environment for us old guys here, and that's something that we loved about it. That's something that we're trying to share with these guys right now, is that is the juice, right? They've been introduced to all these different players from all these different provinces, and be sitting beside a guy that you maybe never met before. That might be the buddy that you're talking to in 20 years, and that's what it's been for Hugh Hamilton, who's my provincial director in Spokane, Craig Geeky, my provincial director in Manitoba, both ex-teammates of mine from Spokane that I hadn't seen Craig in probably 29 years. and be able to go there and spend an event with him, with his boys, with his family, to meet Connor, to meet Craig, and just to reconnect. Like, that's the beauty of sports. It's the beauty of hockey, that it goes much beyond, you know, your goals and assists on the ice, but it's people you meet along the way. And you know, I was fortunate enough to play for so many teams that I have enough connections around here and networks, and that people say yes when I ask them if they want to be involved, which is super awesome too. So yeah, to have names like, you know, Chris Osgood, a 3-time Stanley Cup champion, coming here to be on a bench, and you know, Dean McCammon, 996 NHL games, and you know, it's just it's awesome. And the kids, I'm not even sure if they know how awesome it is yet, but I know it is a tournament they will look back when they're 20, 21, and it's one that they're going to remember. You know, regardless of how they did here, they're going to remember the experience.
Lastly, for you, before we get back to the third period, I wanted to ask you one thing about the awards, and the Sidney Crosby Award this year. That's a new one, I believe, that's come in, or at least one that was presented here, and I think one that exemplifies more than just the play on the ice. I know you mentioned it before the game today, but something that, you know, the coaches pick, kind of a guy that might stand out in the locker room, someone that's always keeping things upbeat, an important award to have at a tournament like this, something, again, that you don't often see in these kind of events.
Well, and it's the beauty of that is like, watch the players that win this, and I guarantee you their development path is like this, because that's what's preached here the whole time, is like those intangibles, much beyond your skating and your stick handling and your shooting, is what you give back to the game along the way, and being coachable and being a leader, and your work ethic and your character. And those guys, that I call them drivers of their own development, they're drivers in the locker room. They continue to get better, and they continue to stick around, and all those players are good hockey players too, like in their own right, but now you add on the other aspect of that, which is like they're good humans. Those are the guys that go the farthest, and that's what was taught from day one here, to the player banquet, to the workshops, is take care of that aspect, and as you take care of that, everything else will take care of itself.
Well, it's an awesome feature to have and a great tournament. We're looking forward to seeing what should be a great third period, maybe even beyond that as well. Yeah. We got late last night into the night to get that shootout game done, but appreciate the time. Thanks for this, Jason, and again, congrats on another great event wrapping up here today.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for what you're doing. I know everyone back home is appreciating the production value here. We're trying to add a little more every year, you know, to make it a little more special for the parents, for the grandparents, for the aunts and uncles. So, you know, if you are watching back home and you appreciate it, by all means, tell your friends, like and subscribe in the channel. There'll be more good hockey to come.
Looking forward to it. Third period action coming up here from Vernon. 1-0 Team Grey with the lead. Welcome back. Third period action upcoming. Team Gray, Team Blue, the final of this UMH-68 Invitational here in BC. Trevor Miller here with you as we are ready for the final 20 minutes of regulation hockey. As we get set for action here on this Sunday afternoon, and a Father's Day finale coming here from Cal Tire Place North as we're underway here in the third period. And Team Gray with a 1-goal lead has gotten defensive in this later part of this tournament here in this one, playing for the UMH-68 Invitational Trophy as this puck comes back out through the center and worked on the right wing side. Here comes Blue trying to make their way back into the offensive zone. They're offside trying to do so. So 19:38 to go, third period, 1-0. The score remains. Face-off that'll come back inside of neutral territory. Back in now is a chance there, and that was Hayden Carpenter that got that shot away from the left wing side. Fought off, or it could go toward the front of the net. Back up to the blue line now and sent across left wing side. Here's Wright now holding with it into the left wing circle. Back up top for Carter Wright, who will wrap the puck around the boards here for Carpenter. Carpenter back along with it there in the right circle to the slot. A shot kicked, a rebound, and another save. James McRae doing what he did last night in the semifinal game. At first, the left pad save, another great stop with the glove, and game remains 1-0 here in the opening minute of this third period. Face-off glove side of the Team Blue net. Off the draw, this puck worked back to the line and forced back out ahead to center as Team Gray tried to make their way ahead with that before it's fired back down ice. There's Blue back with it now inside of their own zone. Puck sent ahead and out right in front of the net before it's Blue that will take back the other way and lift it ahead and out through center now. They have numbers as they work ahead. And on the right side, Tristan Schmidt. Nice play by Reese Parker, poking that puck away and bounce back along to the left wing side where that puck is forced back ahead. Loose puck left circle. Harry Sharman scores. Harry Sharman in the left circle with a rising shot over the shoulders of James McRae. Sharman's got his first goal since day one, his 5th of the tournament, and it's 2-0. Scored 4 goals in the opening day of the tournament. Did not get any yesterday, but Sharman now finds the back of the net at a big time here in the third period. That has put the Team Gray ahead by a 3-0 or a 2-0 score here with a minute and a half gone in this third period. So a big goal there for Team Gray to double their advantage here in period number 3. Down below the goal line now, this puck worked around the wall on the right wing side. Simpson drops it back behind the net. Rasul Yankovic sees that go down to the right wing corner. Now Blue trying to get the handle on this back behind their net. Work back around to the corner. Down to the right wing side now is Reed. Reed behind the net now comes out with it on the glove side, and his shot off a stick as that ramps up and out of play. And a face-off that will come back to the left side of the goal. Well, we would like to thank Elite Prospects for sponsoring the Tournament Stats and All-Star Awards for Youth Hockey Players. Elite Prospects is your very own online showcase to highlight your achievements and help secure future playing opportunities. Coaches, scouts, and schools at every level of the game consider Elite Prospects their one-stop shop to discover future stars. Puck sent back along the right side and out through to center. Harry Sharman with the goal to make it a 2-0 game as it's Simpson that will work this back inside and inside of the offensive zone is Blue. Back down in the corner, now the puck centered back in front and forced back away and out to center now as that one lost here by Jake Black, who will get the handle on it inside of his own zone. Black fed it ahead on the right side. Knocked down just inside the blue line now as it's Team Gray that will push the puck to the middle. Carpenter trying to get to that. Bouncing puck sent back through to center. Here's Simpson making his way back in, but lost the handle on that before the puck's poked ahead, and Carpenter will leave that feet ahead. Worked back in here. Just dropping that one off was Tidsbury, knocked away and carried back out to center here by Team Blue. Forced away as this puck comes back around the goal on the right side and lifted back down ice here into the right wing corner by Hesby. Harlan Hesby down below the goal line. Still with it now on the blocker side. Right wing corner here for Tyson. Ben Tyson now will send that back out through to center and taken on now by Ty Warnock. Puck loose in neutral territory. Center now is Hesby. Banked off the boards and worked back out through to center here now across the line. It's lifted back in there off the stick of Warnock. Rattled around to the right wing corner. Center now in the left wing circle now. Here's Warnock in a pass that went off the outside of the skate. And the intended target there in Aiden. Brought back the other way by Gray. Forced back in deep. Down below the goal line. We got a penalty upcoming here with 16:08 to go here in this third period. And it's going to be Team Blue that's going to be penalized. Hesby in the box, and a power play opportunity now for Gray. With a 2-0 lead, looking to try to extend it to 3. Here the power play opportunity here in the third. Puck loose side of the net. Forced around left wing side and now put along to the right wing half board here where it's Parker that will take over. Parker at the line. Works to the middle. Parker back along left wing side. Parker to the net. That stop rebound loose front of the goal and cleared away back behind the net. Taken on here by Team Gray. Gray working onto it now. Back to the midpoint. Working along with that. Here's Kim. Works right circle. Takes the shot. That was blocked. Starting back up short-handed now. Trying to race that puck ahead is Aiden, but just couldn't get there before Parker, who cut that off. Down below the goal line and wheeled around to the right wing corner. Here's Kim. Kim along with it now as he starts his way out of his own zone. Kim through center. Had a great weekend so far as Theodore Kim, as he was just worked off the puck there as that's sent back down below the goal line. Gray back onto it here. It's under 5 minutes gone here in this third period. Forced ahead to the right circle, and that shot fired wide, and that comes back around the boards on the right side. Trying to work that ahead short-handed. Here is Bishop. Bishop down to the right wing corner. Turns back off of the half board, trying to center that pass in front. Von den Steinen knocked it down, but an opportunity to the net from Blue anyways. That one's forced just away from the net. Brought ahead by Gray. Work it out to center. Here's Diceroth now to make his way in. Diceroth along the right side. He was crunched up against the boards. Loose puck now gathered up there and flipped back out through neutral territory as that laid back down inside of Team Gray territory now. Puck sent ahead, out of the reach of Diceroth. Races back after it, icing the call. 18 seconds to go in this Team Gray power play. 14:25 to go here in the third period. And the game 2-0 in favor of Team Gray. Draw will come to the blocker side of the goal of the Gray net. Face-off blocker side. Back of the line now, held on here by Blue. Trying to force that through to the front of the net. That was knocked down and taken back the other way here by Gray Hodgson. Fed it ahead on the right side. Carried back in right circle to the net. Fired just wide. Wrapped back around the goal and comes back around the right side. Here is Gray. Pushed it back to the blue line. Long shot toward the front of the net. Knocked down. Puck sent along to the left point, and Rasul Yankovic tried to work it down low. Pushed down below inside of Team Gray territory. Now is McGee onto it. McGee worked around on the boards on the right side. McGee trying to get this puck out of his own end. Comes loose back in the middle and now taken on here by Gray. 13:30 to go here in the third. 2-0 lead in favor of Team Gray here in this final here at the UMH-68 BC Invitational. Back into the slot, a shot by Owen Besser, swallowed up and held by Ethan Pinch. So a face-off back inside of Gray territory here with 13:24 to go in the third. 2-0 the score remains in favor of Team Gray in this one. Puck sent along left wing side and bounce back along there into the hands and into the stick of Cooper DeWall, who makes his way ahead. DeWall starts his way down the left wing. Long shot, snared and handled out of the air by McRae. They'll cover that one up just under 7 minutes into this third period, and a lead of 2-0 in favor of Team Gray remains. Off the face-off now. Puck works along the left side. Here's DeWall. Drops it back off into the corner. Puck worked loose there as this comes back up the boards and now thrown down below the goal line here, as now it's Team Blue that will take over. Sent ahead on the left wing side, bumped up the ice and now taken along here is now nice move there by Tyson. Tried to advance that ahead, where it was forced back to the middle, and now it's Cuthbertson who's tied up with his man before it's taken on by Hesby. Played ahead through to center there by Blue. Reed trying to get back inside of the offensive zone. Puck comes loose back through the middle and now taken over there with a shot. Not toward the front of the net. Steered away as Gillis had that attempt work to the corner. Right around the boards on the right side now for Gray. Puck sent ahead and back out through to center. Here's DeWall to make his way back up with it now. DeWall lost the handle on the puck. It comes loose back to the right side, and Team Blue back for it and just inside of their own blue line. Puck sent ahead. Here's Tyson carrying back in. Tyson right circle. Gets to space. Try to drop that one off there. Was looking to try and find his man on that before it was knocked away, and now Gray back forward inside of their defensive end. Team Gray out for their own zone now. Making a way out through center. Here's McCrimmon back in. McCrimmon down the left wing side. Works to the front of the net off the side of the goal. Loose puck comes back off to the blocker side with 11:40 to go here in the third period. Puck laid back along in front of the Team Blue bench before it's picked off there by Lenoff, and they'll try to work that ahead. Lenoff couldn't find the handle now, so it's forced back down inside of Team Blue territory now, taken over and started ahead here by Blue as they'll make their way up ice. The right wing side, Warnick brought that back in. Offside there is Team Blue trying to make their way inside of the offensive zone, so a face-off that'll come back out to neutral ice. 11:20 remains here in this third period. 2-0 the score in favor of Team Gray. Final game of this UMH-68 Invitational here this weekend. Back out at center, and work that back in here inside of the offensive zone as it's Team Gray that will flush it back inside of Blue territory. Big collision there on the end boards. Losing his helmet is Dice Ross, so he has to race back off to get off here for a change. Puck sent back ahead at center and now work back along the right side. Skated out ahead to center here by Hodgson. Hodgson across the line, down the right side. Hodgson stopping up, feeding the middle, holding that one is Sharman. Loose puck comes on the left side as Blue will try and counter and start the other way. Up along the left wing side now, Stacy trying to advance ahead with that. That was knocked away as Gray will get onto that puck and start their way out from their own zone. Puck bounced ahead now as it's thrown back in here by Team Blue. Gray will rattle it around. Puck comes loose there on the right side as trying to get the handle on that. There was the play of Bishop, where it's worked back in deep from center. Off the stick of Team Gray as that puck will force back down below the goal line now, and onto that here is Besser. Besser ahead and up the left wing side. This skated ahead out to center. Carried back in here by Blue as they'll dump the puck back inside the zone. Taken over here by Gray as they work it back up the wall and pushed back ahead there by Stacy. Gathered up by Gray back inside of their own zone. Forced away to the front of the net, going to the goal, and a gorgeous goal for Will Tidsbury. down the right wing side. Tidsbury going up and over the shoulders of McRae, adding insurance here in the third and giving Team Grey a 3-0 lead. Boy, just a gorgeous effort there by Will Tidsbury, getting down the right side, shielding the puck from the defender, and roofing it up and over the glove shoulder of McRae. And Team Grey, who from front to back of this weekend has been the best team. They're 4-0 coming in, have a 3-0 lead here in the final here today. Puck in the left wing circle now to the net. That's stopped by Pinch. Rebound back behind the goal. Forced around to the right side. And back down below the goal line now. It's deflected and taken here by Team Grey as they try to force it back out, but held on there from the line as that's played back in by Cuthbertson. So now it's Grey working out of their own end. Here's McGee across. And Rasul Yankovic will play it out to center and work back in deep inside of Team Blue territory. Puck sent out through to center and work back in deep now as that puck is laid back down inside of Team Blue territory, and that will go for an icing face-off back inside of the Team Grey zone. 8:47 to go here in the third period. 3-0 the score as it's Will Tidsbury that makes it a 3-0 game. Face-off will come back to the block, to the glove side of the net of Ethan Pinch. Around the boards on the right wing side, it's poked along there by Grey. Forced back around and up the middle of the ice now as Grey will advance their way ahead. Carried down the right side, working in his top, and a shot, and Johnson scores. Down the wing, it's Nathan Johnson from the right side, putting it on and adding to the lead here in the third for Grey. They jump ahead 4-0. Nathan Johnson with a ripper of a shot for the right circle that finds the back of the net, and Team Grey leads 4-0 here in this championship game. Aiden ahead on the right wing side. Fed it across the left wing now for Blue as they try to work that puck toward the front of the goal. Now loose the left wing circle, and that one forced just wide of the net, back behind the goal. That will travel. Back up the wall, Simpson a shot. Worked off a stick. Back along the boards on the right wing side and flush back down low. Here it's Gillis trying to work his way to the front of the net. Grey will turn it back out the other way and will take this back out through to center. Sharman a lead feed, that out of the reach of Johnson. Work back down to the right wing corner now. We got a penalty upcoming here. Johnson, as he was crossing over, got his arm into the head of Besser, and they're going to call Johnson for the penalty. So Johnson, who just scored, is also going to go off. And with 7:49 to go here in the third, it'll be Blue that'll go to the power play, looking to try and find their first goal of the game. Face off to the glove side of the goal of Pinch, and that's fired all the way down ice here by Team Grey. So Blue back forward in their own end. 7:35 to go here in this third period, and into Team Blue territory is Hesby, who will work it back along here for Blue. Trying to advance their way back out with it. Hesby back forward inside of his own end. Comes back around on the right wing side now, and it's Blue that will get back out ahead to center. As they're trying to make a play ahead. Big collision there just in front of the Team Grey bench as this puck floated back down inside of Blue territory here. Stomping up and spinning there is Cuthbertson. Now floated along left wing side, a quick shot there, just forced wide of the net, back down below the goal line now. Bishop around the boards, left wing side, punch back out to center, and Cuthbertson will take over here back in neutral territory. Cuthbertson trying to force that one ahead, brought back the other way now. Here's Bishop down the left wing. Bishop spinning left circle, back to the line looking for Hesby. That was knocked away. Now here's Parker, the defenseman working ahead, short-handed. Parker right circle, scores! Reese Parker down the right wing side, racing ahead and firing that shot in for the right circle. Short-handed goal for Gray, and they take a commanding 5-0 lead here in the third. What a rush by Parker to get to the loose puck at center and fire it home. And 36 seconds remains on the power play opportunity here for Blue. But Team Gray up to the 5-0 advantage as that was Tyson that tried to work his way back in. Now back to the line it goes, and across on the right wing side. Now it's put to the net by Reed, and that's swallowed up and held by the goaltender. Pinch as he'll hang on for that. Face-off will come back inside of Team Gray territory. 6:09 to go here in the third. 5-0 the score for Team Gray. 4 goals in this third period for Gray. You know, the third period's always been a big one here for Gray in this tournament. They scored 7 yesterday in the third against this Team Blue team, and now they've got another 4, so 11 goals in 2 third periods here against Team Blue for Team Gray. Here's Saul, high slot, thrown toward the front of the net. That was knocked down. Loose puck comes back to the left wing side. Tied up there on the right wing half boards now as this puck will be worked back along to the corner and up the wall on the left wing side. Now here is Tyson. He lost the handle on that, and Gray will come back the other way, back to 5-on-5. Working that ahead at center. Carpenter trying to work his way in. He got run into the end boards there. Loose puck sent around in the middle of the ice and got back the other way here by Team Blue. Fired back ahead on the right side. Tyson tried to get his way in. Now an opportunity for the off, and a quick chance there for Tyson. Just rifled it wide off the blocker's side, and a penalty upcoming here. And we're going to have a Gray penalty. It's going to be Jake Black that's going to go off for tripping with 5:11 to go here in the third. 5-0 the score for Team Gray. Face off back inside of Team Gray territory. And the draw that will come to the blocker side of the goal. And the referee's conferencing about something here. Or kneeing is the call against Black. Thought maybe it was a tripping penalty, but kneeing is the call. Face off blocker side.
Number 16, Jake Black, 4 minutes and 28.
And it's a 4-minute kneeing penalty to Black, so 5:11 to go here in the third.
4 minutes for kneeing at 14:49. This penalty report brought to you by Craig Monta, the Global Baker Executive Realty.
So wait to get the 4 minutes on the penalty clock. And now we're underway for the power play opportunity here for Team Gray, or for Team Blue, I should say, as they're back inside of the offensive zone. Puck to the line, worked for Simpson on the right wing side. Now thrown toward the front of the goal from the right half board there by Aiden. That went wide of the net and forced back out through the center here by Gray. Nice move as carrying that in as Kim had the stick knocked out of his hands. Puck worked around here as Blue will try and work their way out through the center. Knocked down and now play back inside of Team Blue territory. Here's Besser back for it. Besser rattles that around. Sent back up the wall on the right side and pushed back down below the goal line. Taken over here as that puck comes back through the middle of the ice and scooped up here by Team Gray. They'll hold it back in their own zone and then fly it all the way back down ice. 3:05 to go here in the third. Puck sent ahead. Worked back in here by Blue. They'll take over. Here's Bishop. Worked in the high slot, lost the handle on that. 4 minutes to go here in the third, as that's Besser that will punch this back inside of the offensive zone. Gray back onto it now as they'll fling this all the way down ice and inside of Team Blue territory, and that's going to be covered up by the goaltender McRae. And we'll get another face-off back inside of Blue territory. 3:52 to go here in the third. 2:42 to go in the third period. So we'll have a minute and 10 seconds of a differential between the game clock and the penalty clock, as Team Blue up with that as they'll make their way back out from inside their own zone through to center. Across the blue line on the left wing side. Blue advancing in now, left wing circle, holding, shooting and scoring is Harlan Hesby. And that will break the shutout bid. The combined effort of Carter Burgee and also of Ethan Pinch, as it's Hesby that gets the goal to make it 5-1. So 3:38 to go here in the third. It's a power play goal for Team Blue. And a face-off win now for Blue as they'll work this back out from inside their own zone and carry out to center. 3:30 to go here in the third. Puck sent back down low. Rifled back out to center and all the way down ice from Parker. The latest Team Gray goal on that power play, or the shorthanded strike. The same power play that Team Blue came out and scored on. Brought back ahead and up the left wing side here is Saul. Saul trying to work his way back in now. Puck held up there along the left wing boards and broken stick there as well, as that was Saul that broke his twig running into the linesman on the left side as the puck goes down ice. 1:15 to go here in this third period. And taken along here by Team Blue as they'll work their way ahead. Down the left wing side, here's Tyson in with a shot, low and wide to the net. 2:40 to go here in the third. Bouncing puck right side, Simpson just can't find the handle, and that gets past Tyson to the right point and all the way down inside of Team Blue territory here. Long stretch pass ahead at center. Making a move in the middle now. Here's Gillis trying to advance in. Gillis in the left circle. Just couldn't crack the handle on that as that puck worked loose back at the blue line and taken along for a long shot toward the front of the net. Gobbled up and held there on the left side by Team Gray. Face off that'll come back here, the blocker side of the goal of Pinch with 2:08 or 2:09 to go here in the third. 31 seconds remains in this Team Blue power play. 5-1. Team Gray with the lead. Off the face-off now, Blue will get the handle. Cuthbert's into the line. There's Hesby now with the lone Blue goal so far in this game. Puck comes free as it's rattled off the boards and all the way back out inside of Team Blue territory. Hayden sends that ahead. Work back ahead through center and bounce back out through neutral ice, and taken along here by Aiden now as he'll control. Aiden tried to work that back along to the middle and up with that now, and inside of his own end here is Cuthbertson. Cuthbertson drops it back off inside of his own end. Aiden now with it. 90 seconds to go here in the third period. Puck sent ahead. Played back down ice. Here's Wright now with it. Right behind his net. And they'll work that ahead on the right side now as Team Gray will just fire this puck down ice, and inside of Blue territory that will go for an icing and a face-off that'll come back inside of Team Gray territory with 1:15 to go here in the third period. The face-off on the blocker side, bouncing puck comes loose now. Here with that is Blue to the net, that's stopped by the left pad of the goal. Pinch. 1:10 to go here in the third. Puck rattled back down below the goal line now. Is trying to get to that. There is Blue in the right wing corner. Thrown back down low, and behind the net is Parker. 1 minute remaining here in period number 3. Down to the left wing corner. Here's Hesby now trying to make the play. Back behind the net. Forced around right point. Long shot for the line. That one's steered away. Back around with it along the boards here. And now forced back up to the right point. Cuthbert, as Cuthbertson found the handle, now into the slot. A shot fired wide by Stacy. 30 seconds to go here in period number 3. Team Gray brings that puck ahead. Fired it in deep now. 25 seconds to go here in the third. Down below the goal line now. High slot shot. Blocker saving a last good one there for James McRae to make. 15 seconds to go here in the third. Sent ahead to center. That one will roll back inside of Gray territory. We'll have this puck go down ice here with 5 seconds to go and a late penalty being called. As Cooper DeWall is going to be called for the late penalty here with 6 seconds to go in this third period. And a face-off to come back inside of Team Gray territory. So Blues going to finish this game on the power play.
Team Gray penalty, Cooper DeWall, 2 minutes per minute. 19 minutes, 54 seconds.
And we'll have this face-off come back outside the blue line here. 6 seconds to go, a 5-1 game. Not really a whole lot of point to this all taking place. But anyway, we'll get a face-off that'll come back out to center. Puck is down, Gray pushed it ahead, and the final seconds wind down, and Team Gray comes away victorious here in this UMH-68 Invitational here this weekend in Vernon. It 5-1 the final score over Team Blue, and Gray completes the perfect weekend, finishing 5-0 in their 5 games. And they come away with the win here at the UMH-68 BC Invitational. 5-1 the final score here in the final game of the championship game here today. Great effort by Team Blue. Who were able to get to this game after a triumphant shootout win yesterday, but it's Team Gray who caps off the perfect weekend end to end. The best team, they scored the most goals the third period against Team Blue in the last 2 days, able to outscore Blue by a margin of 11-2 in the final period in the last 2 days. And it's Team Blue, or it's Team Gray that comes away victorious here this weekend. And a very solid effort here from their squad. And even though, the final game 1-0 going into the third period, a lot of pressure by both sides, but it comes down to the goal scoring of Gray that makes a big difference, and they come by and score 4 goals in the final period and are able to win this game by a final of 5-1. We'll have our player of the game, the 3-star award. 3 stars presented by Nick Roughton, upcoming here to wrap this thing up here from Vernon this weekend.
First of all, our Brian Award winner will receive a $30 gift certificate to Brown Social House at Village Green. And this afternoon's recipient from Team Blue, number 5, Raymond Saul.
Raymond Saul is the Team Blue, as the recipient of the Grit and Grind Award winner here for Team Blue this afternoon.
It's now time for a 3-star presentation. Brought to you by Nick Roughton. And our 3rd star of the hockey game from Team Blue, number 14, Ben Tyson.
3rd star of the game is Ben Tyson. Had a couple of great chances in this game to try and get Team Blue ahead.
guard to Sorcerer Sports. Let's hear it for Team Gray, number 29.
Carter Berge, he was outstanding. He didn't give up a goal in the first half of the game that he played today, so he is the second star.
At our first start hockey game, we're receiving a $50 gift card to Sorcerer Sports from Team Gray. Number 4, Reese Parker.
And Reese Parker is the first star today, the shorthanded goal that put the emphasis on the win for Gray.
Congratulations, Reese. Our U15 BC All-Star presentations are coming right up. All right, our first player nominated to the All-Star team. It was great all weekend long. On forward, from Team Gray, number 9, Theodore Kim. Congratulations, Theodore. Another forward, also from Team Gray, another great weekend. Boy, he was putting the lights on everywhere, especially the red one. Number 13, Will Tinker. Congratulations, Will. Also from Team Gray, our forward, number 14, Declan McCollum. On defense, from Team Red, number 4, Aiden Poda. Also on defense from Team Gray, number 4, Reese Parker. And Eagle from Team Black, Max Davis. Congratulations to all our All-Star recipients.
So the All-Star recipients for this year's tournament. And now Jason Bedolan at ice level.
All right, thanks again to everybody for being here. This trophy is our version of the Stanley Cup. I didn't mention it at the opening welcome meeting, but everyone who wins this, coaches included, get their names on this thing. And it's pretty cool to look back already because 3 years ago, that first group of 2009 born players are now drafted, and there'll be guys playing in the WHL, and soon there'll be guys that are getting drafted in the NHL, and it's fun to follow along their careers. So, Team Gray, congratulations, each one of your names will be on this as far as the event goes, it's another amazing success that goes to all you guys that are willing to come here on a holiday weekend and spend some time here in Vernon and take advantage of the community and hopefully have a great experience. Thank you guys for coming. Thanks for making this another successful event. Please share this guy's pictures. He does a great job. Talk about the event, talk about it on social media. That's the best way to help it grow. Thank you to the coaches. Thank you to the ambassadors. Thank you to everyone who makes this thing absolutely fantastic and live a great hockey game together. The We'll bring up Nathan Jones to get back to Vernon too there, buddy. We'll bring up Nathan Jones for the Showcase trophy on behalf of Team Gray. Get over here for the picture. And Ray, come on up and celebrate. Congratulations, man. We will have a team picture for you. You guys will have a team picture. Also, you want to make sure the Team Gray will have a logo with your team and block it. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you at home. Happy Mother's Day to all that out there. We appreciate you.
So Team Gray, the champions of the weekend. Great effort by Team Blue. Great effort by everybody this weekend throughout the course of the weekend, as it's a 5-1 Team Gray win here at the UMH-68 BC Invitational. Thank you for tuning in all weekend long. My name is Trevor Miller. Big thanks to Alvin Tam behind the camera, producing, getting all the graphics and everything out there throughout the course of the weekend. Team Gray finishes off the win, 5-1 the final. Thank you for tuning in all weekend long. This has been the UMH-68 BC Invitational here from Cal Tire Place in Vernon.